Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it is so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
All righty, welcome into the opening of the NFL season and the JP Peterson Show on this Thursday. And the Cowboys are playing. Did I get to see the Cowboys get their ass kicked by the Eagles tonight? Man, what a week.
More than likely.
Starting great. It's starting great already. We got Buccaneers and Falcons to talk about. Baker and Luke Gedeke going after each other. Vita Vea on the injury report. What? So, and the Rays won 6 in a row. Good morning, IndyCar Tim from our Dallas affiliate. What's up?
It is Cowboys Thursday here in Dallas as the Cowboys will once again kick off the season on primetime TV. Normally it's against the Giants, but we've got the Philadelphia Eagles tonight. And boys, 2 bold predictions. Well, 1 bold prediction, JP, as we talked off the air. Saquon Barkley will not hit 100 yards tonight.
That is a bold prediction.
But the Cowboys still lose by 25.
Ooh.
It's my 2 bold predictions.
Okay. I think Saquon runs for 150.
It's possible. It's possible.
I guess that Cowboys run defense. They do anything in the offseason to make it better? No. Kenny Clark and Mozzie, which means Mozzie Smith won't be lining up on the defensive line. So that's like a double positive. Somebody to play the run instead of Micah Parsons, who didn't play the run.
Exactly. Yeah. So we'll see.
Anyway,
we'll see. Excited to watch it tonight, though.
We got so much more local stuff to talk about. And we got a great show for you coming up. Dave Archer, Falcons Radio, great analyst, will join us, my former colleague, right off the top here in about 3 or 4 minutes. So we'll get a great look at what the Falcons have been doing in the offseason. How ready is Michael Penix? Brad Johnston's going to join us at 10:30 this morning. Brad was at the Raise the Flags opening the other night and just did a fantastic job recounting the first Super Bowl with Gruden. Got a little choked up. So we'll talk to him about the night that was the other night. His Super Bowl, of course, we'll reminisce about that. His son, Max, coming back from a horrific injury and playing at UNC. So much to talk about with Brad. Looking forward to that. So he'll join us at 10:30. Joey Johnston, USF Sideline reporter, will join us at 11 o'clock to talk about his huge game, USF in Florida, coming up this weekend at the Swamp. USF's got a puncher's chance, maybe better than a puncher's chance after that beatdown of Boise. And Brooke Bennett's going to stop by, our 3-time gold medalist, talk a little Olympics. And also, we're going to talk about something that's very interesting called the enhanced games. We've talked about this before, but there's, they're being sued now, so there may not be an enhanced games. This is the games that were supposed to go on in Las Vegas where the promoters were promoting people using steroids to see what the human body could accomplish if enhanced. So, which I think is just a fascinating topic.
So basically, everybody gets juiced up and you go and compete against each other, right?
Yes.
What could go wrong?
Yeah, and there's actually a local Olympian, Megan Romano, who I think she made the Olympic team. I'm not sure, but she's a very accomplished swimmer, NCAA champion at Georgia, I believe, who has been out there on social media saying she's going to be part of the enhanced games. So it's an interesting topic. So we'll hit that. We'll hit some Olympic stuff with Brooke as well. So big show coming your way here. All right, Timmy, while you get Arch on the phone, I'm going to do a couple minutes here on the Rays last night and update on the Bucs as well. By the way, Vita Vea was on the injury report. Oddly enough, I'm walking through One Buck yesterday, and we're going to the locker room, and Vita coming to the lunchroom, was not limping at all, by the way. But I was walking next to Jenna Lane, the reporter, who now has a walker because she has a very bad back problem.
Yeah.
And Vita goes, "Oh, I need that." And we all laughed.
Oh.
And then we saw him on the injury report. And I actually said to him, I said, "Well, I hope you don't need that. You got to play a game on Sunday."
Oh.
And so we all laughed. But he did say I could use that walker. I'm like, oh God, that's nice. We all thought he was joking. Like maybe he wasn't. But we don't know his status. And obviously that is going to be a huge, huge deal. And we didn't get a chance. The Bowles didn't mention it at all. oddly enough, because this was before the injury report came out when we talked to Bowles yesterday, but he didn't mention it at all. So they basically said everybody was going to be ready to go. Maybe they're just getting him off his feet. Don't know, but no specifics on that. And Baker and Luke Gedeke had a great exchange yesterday, not face-to-face, but Baker was talking about Luke's contract, and then he also had to slip in. He's the cheapest man I've ever known in my life. So, of course, and then ran down some things. It was hilarious. And then we go to Luke, and Luke's like, well, I'd say frugal is a better word, frugal. And then he goes, yeah, and what's your first lavish purchase going to be? Someone asked. He's like, probably nothing. You know, I drive a Ford Fiesta. He said a Fusion. Like, I don't even know how that man gets in that car. And he's like, I've been talking to Teddy Bridgewater about buying his used minivan. He's like, Teddy, what year is that? And Teddy's like, 2018. He's like, perfect. And we're like, minivan? You don't even have kids. He goes, oh, no, that's a misnomer. Yeah, minivans are awesome.
Yeah, they kind of are. I won't disagree with that.
See, Luke's first purchase is going to be a 2018 Dodge Caravan. Hey, attaboy.
Priorities, man. He puts his money elsewhere.
He ain't wasting his money. That's for damn sure. All right, so the Rays last night win 9-4. Their 6th win in a row. They're now 2.5 games out. 2.5 games out of the third wild card. Now, they got the Guardians coming in for 4 this weekend. They're actually behind the Rays. So last night, the Rays get out and go 8 for their first 10. 8 for their first 10. And, of course, Caminero knocks in the first run. He's just been out since the first 2 at-bats in the series. He's 8 for 10 in the series. Obviously, he's hit 40 home runs now up to 101, 102 RBIs. Just insane. What he's carrying his team. Josh Lowe has found his stroke. Mangum last night he hit one the opposite way to knock in a couple runs that couldn't have been more than 50 miles per hour off the bat. Just knocked it through the hole. Just a little. And George Kirby was on the mound. A good pitcher who's just getting lit up. And a couple, maybe 3 or 4 seeing eye singles. Not a lot of hard contact. I mean, Caminero's was, but not for the most part. So he got so disgusted that he just hit Josh Lowe with a pitch. And then Hauser came back a couple innings later and plunked one of their guys. And the warnings were given, and that was that. Which is the way it should be handled, and they did it the right way. The Rays are playing great baseball right now. Fantastic baseball. Can they run down the final wild card? I don't know if they have the consistency. I mean, this is a hot streak, obviously 2 in a row, but the starting pitching hasn't been hot. The offense has been inconsistent. As quickly as they get hot, they get cold. I don't want to throw a wet blanket on this run, but that is what they've been all year long.
Sounds like a Katy Perry reference right there.
So we'll see what happens with this team. I'm not going to go gaga over them just yet. And a Katy Perry reference. I'm not going to go crazy over it just yet, but it's a great run. But the consistency has been a question mark. Whether they can keep this up for another 28 games, because they're still going to have to play about 700 baseball on the way in to get to 86, 87 wins, which might get them in. Somebody else gets hot, then they're out. So
it's going to need some luck, man. Like we talked about yesterday, they're going to have to not just play well; they're going to need some luck.
Absolutely. All right, we got it. We got Arch on.
Arch is on.
The great Dave Archer from Atlanta Falcons Radio, my former radio partner, colleague, Iowa State. The Iowa State people are already going nuts in the comments, bro.
He might not want to be called Arch though. Right now, in this day and age, he might not like that nickname. It might connotate like
I don't know.
Arch Manning, which isn't
what right now. What's up, Arch? How are you?
I'm good, man. And I was Arch before Arch Manning.
You were.
So I'm okay with it. So
Damn right. And your stats are a lot better than his. I tell you that.
Week 1, huh?
They're getting week 1. We're already barbecuing the guy, right?
Yeah, exactly. Right. He might be okay, right? In the long run.
When you make $6 million a year, you got to worry about that kind of stuff. So.
That's right. Comes with the territory. That's right. It's exactly a different ball game now. Remember, we used to say, well, let's not criticize the kid. They're college kids. Now we're like, this guy sucks. He's making $6 million a year and he ain't worth it. So anyway, that's what you get.
Wow.
Yeah, I think one time I got my laundry paid for, and they were talking about the NCAA sanctions and stuff against Iowa State. I'm going, what in the world's going on?
Can you imagine? Yeah, I think the pendulum may have shifted a little too far the other way, but I guess it needed to be done. All right, Arch, let's get into this. What's going on with the Falcons up here? We heard you got 2 Hall of Fame rookie pass rushers now coming off the edge. But Baker's a dead man. What's going on up there?
Yeah, well, up here we're hearing about how Baker is the guy as far as quarterbacks go. Forget Patrick Mahomes. Forget all these other guys.
Absolutely.
Baker Mayfield getting ready to have his monster year after having 2 really good years, the last 2 for Tampa. You guys are Tampa's the dominant team in the division, trying to win the division for a 5th time, unprecedented territory for the Bucs. Even though Atlanta beat them twice last year. So
right.
I think that the whole concentration, JP, has been, okay, how do we get better? How do we find a way to win the division? And so I think that the idea was we need to get better on defense and find a way. And we're not talking about trying to find a way to be, a top 10 defense. If they can just go from 31st in the league to 19th, 18th in the league, get people off the field on 3rd down, win some red zone battles. That's what they're trying to do. Get the quarterback on the ground. We were 31st in the league in sacks last year. Get the quarterback on the ground in some key moments. And they feel like they've got enough weapons on offense where they feel like they're going to be able to be in the hunt to try to go do something.
So let's dig in a little bit on these new pass rushers, Pierce Jr. and Walker. Obviously, Charlie Heck starts for Tristan Wirfs on the left side. We'll get to Euro line problems here in a second, but that's obviously something that new OC Josh Grizzard is going to have to coach around, help out Charlie Heck. If you're Josh Grizzard and you're looking at this Falcons defense, how worried should you be about these rookies? Are they that good, or just don't worry about it, run your offense?
Well, I think that number one, they'll be them. They're going to run their offense. And, the way anytime, and you guys got some guys that can have to passer too. So both teams are going to have to find a way the way you reduce pass rushers is reduce them physically. And these are 2 teams that can do that. Tampa really refound their run game a year ago with those 2 guys, this offensive line coming off the ball, and, Bucky Irving becoming what he's become. Rashad White is an outstanding player. You guys have a 2-headed monster running back just like we do. So I think what you do is you get after people physically. So you got to get after them, reduce them physically in the run game. And then that pass rush isn't quite as quick in the 3rd and 4th quarter when they're trying to rush the passer. I think that's the conventional wisdom. The other piece of that is that you help guys. If Tristan Wirfs isn't going to play, well, obviously Caleb McGarry is out for us. And Elijah Wilkinson, who's played a lot of football in the NFL, but here he is starting in the National Football League. You're gonna use some things to help them out. The tight end comes over there. You get some chip blocks. At some point, those guys are gonna have to stand on their own 2 legs and block. Both. Heck is gonna have to do that for you guys, and certainly Wilkinson's gonna have to do it here in Atlanta. And they're gonna have to be NFL football players and stand up and block. And so at those moments, I'm sure Todd Bowles and Jeff Ulbrich, the 2 defensive guys, the 2 masterminds as far as defense goes, are going to try to manipulate those 2 guys and try to create some problems. But our 2 guys are good players. They haven't done anything at this level yet. So the guy I would be worried about I'd be more worried about Leonard Floyd than I would be about one of these rookie edge rushers. So Floyd's been getting it done, and man, you talk about getting it done at a high level for the last 5 years. He's averaged 8.5, 9 sacks a season. So we've got some guys we can rotate in that they're excited about here.
Dave Archer joining us here from Falcons Radio. Let's talk a little bit about Michael Penix, who has not played in the preseason and has played, 3-4 games last year. You've been to Flowery Branch. You've seen all the practices. Well, maybe not all, hopefully. How's he looking? How confident should he be coming into this season?
Well, JP, he's got all the throws. Now, this is a guy that when you step out there, you're impressed with the way the ball comes out of his hand and the fact that he can throw it anywhere on the field. That jumps out at you. There's not a lot of those kind of guys. The guys we've had recently have not been able to do that. Even Kirk Cousins, who played well against you guys in 2 games, he didn't have the ability that Michael does to shove one down the seam on a dime or come out, play action fake on the wide side, on the short side of the field, and throw it across the field, a deep comeback to Drake London. He's got all those kind of throws, and he has the ability to stretch you deep. I think anybody that watched him play in his 2 years at Washington watched his ability or noticed his ability to throw the ball down the field and stretch the field. And I think if there's anything that potentially is new for Atlanta from an offensive standpoint, will be potentially some vertical passing game, which I think that has been lacking for a long time here. Teams have been able to squat down on routes, have been able to not worry about the ball going over their head. One, because maybe you didn't have anybody that could run by anybody, but number two, the quarterback couldn't throw it out there. You couldn't get it over the top anybody's head. This guy can do those kind of things, which you hope gives you a little bit more flexibility in being able to stretch a defense, vertically and create some of those seams in those intermediate areas and maybe even underneath. He's got all of that. Very calm, poised guy. I asked him, he started the first game of the preseason a year ago in his rookie year against Miami. And I remember how it was for me. I mean, my first game, I went in, I was nervous. We drove down and kicked the field goal. I thought I just won the Super Bowl. We'd gone down and gotten points. I said, wow, I'm in the NFL and this got points. I asked Michael, he drove down, threw a touchdown or whatever it was. And I said, hey, were you nervous? He goes, I don't get nervous. I'm prepared. The guy is very calm, collected. He's obviously an older player, played 6 years of college football. He comes in well prepared as far as what's going to be expected of him. And he's really gotten what's probably the most important thing this offseason is he's finally gotten reps with those number one guys. Last year he was running the scout team. He was running that second unit. Got a little bit at the end of the year, as you mentioned, those 3 starts. But he's spent the entire offseason, all of training camp, throwing to Drake London, Darnell Mooney, Ray McLeod. He didn't do that last year. And I think he's got much more of a feel for what those guys do because receivers have little idiosyncrasies to them. Chris Godwin's different than Mike Evans is. And Ibuka is going to be different than those two guys. So understanding what those guys do at the top of routes, how they come out of them, how they accelerate, these kind of things. He's developed a rapport with his receivers that he didn't have last year.
Dave, we talked about his ability to throw the ball downfield and Penix's threat, keeping the field vertical, but he's also got the ability to run and mess with you with his legs. Are the Falcons trying to contain him a little bit with the game plan, or do you think they'll give him a little bit of freedom to improvise when situations arise?
No, I think they'll cut him loose. He's not going to break you. He's like Baker. Baker's not going to turn around and run. You don't expect him to go run 50 yards for a touchdown, but he will get out of the pocket, extend plays, buy more time, and find somebody down the field. Baker's a master at that. And then finding a way to get out and go get you a first down. You're 3rd and 8, and all of a sudden he skates out of the pocket and goes and gets a first down for you. That's what Michael's going to do. Now, will there be some stuff off of the running game? I'm sure that they'll have some stuff that comes out the backside off the running game. Most teams do. That's not a secret to anybody. If you got a stretch running game, there's some kind of bootleg action that comes out of it. So it'll keep the backside defensive ends honest. You can't close as hard maybe off the backside. If Kirk Cousins is in the game, you're not worried about a bootleg. Okay. Right, yeah. But and that allows that backside defensive end to close down on Bijan Robinson and maybe running down from behind. Now you're going to have to worry about maybe somebody coming out the other way with the bootleg type action. But again, he's going to be a lot like Baker is. He's going to be a nuisance because he can move well enough in the pocket and get out and go get you a first down in 3rd and 8 situations that is a nuisance that extends drives. That's what you're looking for from him.
Dave Archer joining us here from Falcons Radio. You mentioned Kirk Cousins. It's so weird. The Falcons beat the Bucs 2 times last year, and it was both times with Cousins who had monster days. But then we get to face Michael Penix. So maybe that's better. I don't know. What is the situation? Is there? I mean, I've heard Kirk do a couple of interviews. It didn't seem like he was thrilled with the whole situation. No. How is that working in the room? Is there any disenchantment? What's going on?
No, I think the dynamic has been good, JP. It's a bad situation for a quarterback that wants to play, right? Yeah. I mean, this guy's a 14-year veteran. He's been to the Pro Bowl 4 times. He's thrown for 4. He's done everything. He hadn't won a Super Bowl and hasn't won in the postseason with any great degree of regularity. But those are the things that are missing off his resume. But when you talk about an NFL quarterback, this guy's had an incredible career, not to mention the guaranteed monies he's been able to make over the last 3 contracts that he's had. But his relationship with Michael Penix is a very unique one. Those 2 guys rode together on road trips down to the airport. in turn, they would ride back with one another and drop each other off at their homes or whatever. And so there was that private time that wasn't meeting room time, that wasn't on the practice field time, or standing on the sidelines after a series when Kirk would come to the sidelines when he was starting, or when Michael started those last 3 games and talking football. They had real time together, and they developed a relationship, a bond, if you will, old quarterback, young quarterback. We hear all the time nowadays that the older quarterback says, well, it's not my job to raise this kid and teach him how to play the game. Right. And Kirk hasn't gone that far. He wants to play, but he's a really good teammate. Now, he said some things in the offseason about his injuries and he was injured and that he didn't tell the team and the team didn't really know and however that settles out. I don't know what degree of truth there is with both sides, but ultimately their relationship has been a good one. He's been very good in practice. He's laughing, joking around with the guys. Being a teammate. And I think that Michael's going to benefit from that. How could you not? I had a guy named Steve Barkowski here when I came to the sidelines that had played 10, 12 years in the league. Yeah. That's pretty good to walk over and pick a guy's brain like that, he saw this, that, or the other. So I think it's okay. Is it the best scenario? Certainly not the best scenario in Kirk's mind, but it's working. And so we'll see how it plays out from there.
Dave, there was a ton of rumors and speculation that Kirk Cousins would be gone from the roster via trade over the offseason. I mean, it was everywhere, and it was often. Mm-hmm. Is anybody locally in the building, in the media there, surprised that he's still there?
Not at this point. Certainly early on, and back when it was being reported, hey, Kirk's making this kind of money. The dynamic to it is Atlanta's on the hook for the money.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. Unless you can get someone to trade you some serious draft capital for him and then maybe even pick up the tab a little bit with the money, why would you move him? You're going to have to pay for him anyway. Why not have the best backup quarterback in the National Football League? Right. As long as he can coexist with your starter, why not just keep him on the roster? You already had dedicated that money to that room anyway. You thought he was going to be your starter this year. So he's not your starter this year. He's still in the room. He's still contributing. He's a good teammate. He's helping Michael. Unless somebody goes, hey, we'll give you a 3rd-round draft pick and we'll pick up $20 million off of that contract. Yeah, okay, we'll make that move. But unless something like that happens, why not just keep the guy? Because he's a much more of an asset for you. Why make somebody else better?
Yeah, that's a great point. Dave, finally, what's the vibe like there in Atlanta? I mean, here it's, this team is ready to take the next step. They've scratched to get in the playoffs. I talked to Baker about this, Levante, everybody. And to a man, they're like, we need to take the next step. We believe we can be an elite team, not a 10-win team, but a 12 or 13-win team. And obviously that starts with a team that swept you last year and is your division rival, the Falcons. So the Bucs are dialed in to this game. Is their payback? Yeah, I feel like there's a little bit of that. I'm talking to the guys yesterday. You get that sense it's kind of a quiet, we owe them a little bit more than just one. So I think they're hyped, and I think they're ready. They're healthy, for the most part. We'll see what happens with Vita Vea. That kind of popped up yesterday. But, no Wirfs, no Godwin. We knew that going in. So they're confident. They're very confident. They can go in there and get a win and expect to. Where are the Falcons' heads at right now? Where with this, all the stuff that's going on in this offseason, the place is going to be packed. I would expect expectations are super high. And for an opening game, it ain't a must win. We know that. But, damn, it feels like it. It feels like it, right?
Well, yeah. This early on, you're right, JP. It really feels like these two teams could potentially battle down the stretch should both, stay some semblance of health. And I know we're battling some things as well as Tampa is. I looked at I'll get to the how the cities feel and all that kind of stuff in just a second, JP. When I look at the numbers from these two teams playing each other last year, there's no way Atlanta should have won either one of the games. Okay. And Tampa's probably saying, well, we shouldn't have won either one of the games, and they didn't. But you go back, Tampa converted 15 of 25 third down. That's 65% third down conversion. Atlanta ran 81 plays in this game in week 5 a year ago, won in overtime. They ran 81 plays. Tampa ran 51 plays in the game and still had Younghoe Koo kick a buzzer beater at the end to send it to overtime, and then we made a play in overtime to win the game. I don't know how Atlanta won the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield was outstanding. Baker Mayfield completed 76% of his passes for over 500 yards and only threw two interceptions down there in Tampa. When I look at the numbers, I'm mystified. Start talking about, keys. Here's keys to the game. Well, you can't let them run it. Well, they ran for 160 yards here last year and we won the game. I don't even know where to lean. This is one of the weirdest matchups I've ever seen. But getting to the energy, it's a cautious optimism here in Atlanta from a fan base standpoint. Obviously, all the new pieces. You drafted a couple SEC guys. That's something Atlanta, for whatever reason, has kind of shied away from. This is the first Georgia Bulldog Atlanta's drafted in the first round in the history of the franchise.
It's unbelievable.
That's unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
It's 60 years. It's a 60 years. Okay, you hadn't drafted a Georgia Bulldog. Oh, by the way, there's 6 playing for Philly right now. I mean, it's unbelievable. So it's incredible to think. But so you've got some local interest. The SEC fans, these 2 SEC guys come here. You get the Notre Dame kid that's going to start at safety. Billy Bowman, a really good player from OU, probably is going to play a lot at nickel for Atlanta. So Baker's going to see a lot of young players on the field, and they're hoping they can hold up. But the optimism is here. The city. You worked up here some. Yeah. This is a fan base that starved. It got, still is haunted by 2016 and have been told this is the team, and haven't been in the playoffs for 7 straight seasons. And, oh, by the way, our brother to the south in Tampa Bay has won the division 4 straight times. So all of that being said, it's optimistic, and 32 teams think they can win the Super Bowl right now, I think.
It's going to be a good one, Arch. Appreciate your time as always, my friend. And your boy, do you chat with Rocco Becht at all? His dad's a good friend and good friend of the show. So we watch him all the time. Your Iowa State brethren. He's one hell of a play. I can't believe he got out of Florida, by the way. Well, it's bad.
Yeah, so impressed with him. He was not the guy that was supposed to start up there. They had another kid they'd recruited locally, that a 6'5" kid that came in, and Rocco just kept kind of chipping away while Brock Purdy was the quarterback up there. Rocco's a redshirt freshman, and ultimately got on the field, and he's a gamer. The guy is just a flat gamer, mirrors his old man. Obviously, the things that Anthony helped him with as far as understanding the game and being able to deal with the nerves and all that kind of stuff. But the kid's got a knack. He's got a knack for making plays. And big one this weekend. Iowa comes to town. Iowa State beat them in Iowa City last year on a 54-yard field goal at the buzzer. And so here comes Iowa back to Ames, and so that's always a big one early on in the season for Iowa State. But the kid's resilient. I'm really excited for him. Got a chance to visit with him just a little bit. So not friends or anything like that, but certainly I've had a chance to talk with him. Very confident guy, and man, his teammates believe in him. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. What'd you think of Castellanos at FSU doing that thing to Alabama? How about that?
Yeah. How about talking the noise first and then going and doing it? It'd be one thing.
I ripped him too.
I ripped him for silent assassin. Oh my goodness. He just wore the suit in and said, "Hey, this is what we're going to do to you." And then he went and did it to him. So, I thought the quarterback play across the board college-wise was really pretty shoddy. I was surprised, and I know Arch is in there, Arch Manning, and some of those, and credit some of the defensive stuff certainly. But I think Cade Klubnik didn't look very good.
Awful.
He's a guy that was supposed to be a Heisman Trophy candidate. Nussmeier did some stuff, but I didn't think it was just it was just off the charts. But Castellanos played extremely well, and I thought that the guy that stuck out to me was Jackson Arnold, the kid for Auburn who had transferred from Oklahoma. He played really well at Baylor. That's supposed to be a pretty good team for Dave Aranda, and they went out there and got after him pretty good. I didn't know he could run around like that, but Castellanos has got everybody thinking. Everybody on the warpath down there in Seminole territory, right?
At least for 1 week, yeah. We got a couple of cupcakes coming up. So after last year, bro, we're storming the field. Damn right we are.
All right, yeah, go ahead and pay the 50. You got $50,000. They can do that. Come on.
We paid $350 for the damn field. We might as well get something out of it, right?
Well, Castellanos probably could pay for it himself.
That's right. So, that's right. I'll pay the fine every week if we have to. Wait, if we beat Miami on that field, Jesus, forget about it. They're gonna need to buy a new one. All right. Thanks, Arch. Appreciate your time as always, bud.
Great talking to you, man. Take care, bud.
Great Dave Archer right there. One of the best in the business. Love working with him. That was a great time up there in Atlanta for a couple of years. When I went up there, had to pick up a nice little check, make my way back to Tampa.
Number 16 in Atlanta, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
I think we're number 16. Yeah.
He's so college and pro. He's so good as an analyst. He's just breaks it down, just sees the game so well. It's a gift, he's played quarterback obviously at the highest levels, but to be able to verbalize it the way he does, he's really, really good. All right.
By the way, that's the last time the Atlanta Falcons jerseys and uniforms looked worth a crap. Was back then.
Those red
helmet, red.
Yeah.
When Glanville went black, it just ruined everything.
Yeah, that was a sharp uniform. The whites are. I can't wait to see the Bucs in the whites and it's gonna be beautiful. Agreed. All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, Brad Johnson, Super Bowl champion, is going to join us and talk about the movie premiere the other night, or the documentary premiere, which he was a huge part of, and we'll have some other fun as well with Big Bad Brad. We're brought to you by the Jeeves Law Group, JEEVES lawgroup.com. Get your free case evaluation over there. They are local, they are trusted, and they get results. Have Scott Jeeves be in your camp fighting these insurance companies. They hate the Jeeves Law Group because they kick their ass. JeevesLawGroup.com, non-attorney spokesman, offices Tampa and St. Pete. And OnSiteConstructionFL.com. Get your free consultation there as well. Jason Fawcett will come out to your home personally, the owner, check it out, say you might be able to do this, you might be able to do that. You don't know what the options are because you haven't done it like they have. Over 1,400 jobs here locally, 5-star reviews. Know your contractor before the hurricane hits. Get that free evaluation and get on the preferred client list. So if something happens, you don't have to wait around for a contractor. He's ready to go. It's OnSiteConstructionFL.com. Back in 3 with Brad Johnson. Experience the art of driving at Genesis of Tampa, where luxury meets innovation and every detail is crafted for you. From the bold G70 to the refined GV80, Genesis delivers power, elegance, and technology years ahead of its time. Book service online, and our Genesis Experience Advisors will pick you up and drop off your vehicle. If available, you can enjoy a courtesy car while yours gets a complimentary interior vacuum plus a generous offer for your trade. Every new Genesis comes with the Miracle Advantage Plan, 10 years or 250,000 miles of powertrain warranty and 4 years of complimentary maintenance. Visit us at 801 East Bears Avenue or online at genesisoftampa.com. Genesis of Tampa, luxury redefined. Italiano Insurance would like to congratulate the Bucs on their 50th anniversary season. And you know what? We've been here for every season and then some, over 60 years in business. We've seen some smart coaches with great game plans, but if you don't have flood insurance or business insurance, that's a terrible game plan. That could ruin you financially. You don't want to take that L. So call 813-877-7799 and let their friendly agents quarterback your insurance and save you big money. Italiano also sponsors our FSU report every week. So go Noles. 813-877-7799 or go to italianoinsurance.com. JP here for Riveters, our new official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. And just like our show, no BS, no corporate chain feel, just amazing, authentic folks serving great comfort food in a casual atmosphere at unheard of prices. Riveters is located just south of Raymond James and Steinbrenner Field on Dale Mabry, walking distance to the park. So free parking, great place for pregame and postgame. Let's talk about fresh food. Nothing is frozen. Burgers, wings, prime rib, roasted fresh daily, never frozen. That makes a huge difference. The mahi, the salmon, also super fresh. All our sauces are original recipes made in-house. Our Warhawk chili and fully loaded potato soup is made fresh in-house. It's the best food anywhere, served by people who actually care. Riveters on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of where the Bucs and Rays play. We'll see you there. Are you looking to renovate your home, rebuild after the hurricanes, or build your dream home from scratch? Well, let me tell you about my friend Jason Fawcett and On-Site Construction. They have over 1,450 satisfied clients, 25 years of experience, over 500 designs, and a talented team of over 40 construction professionals. They believe building something exceptional begins by truly focusing on all the details, even the smallest ones. We understand that construction can be a daunting process, and we're here to make it as smooth and stress-free as possible. Quality is non-negotiable at on-site construction. We use the finest materials, employ the most skilled tradespeople, and adhere to the highest industry standards to deliver a product we're proud of and that you're going to love. Our project management is meticulous with a focus on completing projects on time and on budget. Your happiness is our primary driver. So give us a call at 813-579-5789 or check out our incredible website at onsiteconstructionfl.com. Are you having legal issues with a business partner or other legal business issues? The attorneys at Walters, Levine & DeGrave can help. Call 800-616-0384 for a free consultation. At Walters, Levine & DeGrave, we've redefined what a law firm can be with top-tier attorneys, personal service, and 26 years of success. From business law to civil litigation, we deliver smart, client-focused solutions. Walters, Levine & DeGrave recently won a $6.4 million jury verdict from a large real estate developer, and they can win for you too. Walters, Levine & DeGrave. Let's solve it together. Not attorney spokesman. For a free consultation, call 800-616-0384 or go to walterslevine.com. Offices Tampa, Sarasota.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show. Coming to you live from the Kingmakers studio here in beautiful Midtown Tampa. You can be a member of this incredible private club, Kingmakers, right here. It is a dual-purpose place, kind of cool, very unique. You can work here during the day. We have some nice private offices right out here. There's a little public office area. Think Oxford Exchange with a sports bar flair. All right, so we have a sports bar right there as well with all the 15 different TVs for events you could do here as well. Have a stylish conference room that you could use. You have this beautiful studio here, the JP Peterson Show studio you can use to do podcasts. And at night, it turns into a really cool place to hang out. We've got a big golf simulator here with a bunch of big leather chairs. You bring the boys over, have a great night, have some food catered in here. You can do that deal. We have the big sports bar area out here. So many things you can do. Just have fun. We got an NBA Jam machine, which is kind of cool if you're into that stuff. One of the old machines. So,
sweet.
Yeah. Really
I'm trying to get a golden tea machine put in the studio here in Dallas.
Oh, wow. Golden tea.
Yeah.
Roll it back with the thumb, roll back, and then remember that golden tea?
All the blisters.
Oh my God. There was a definite, it's almost like a golf swing.
Yeah.
You had to have your, you perfect the golf swing.
You had to have the rhythm and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Golden tea was just many a moment doing golden tea. Yeah. I bet Brad's really good at golden tea. He's good at all. He's good at everything. I haven't seen him pop up yet. I sent him a link.
Not here yet.
I think he might be still sleeping.
You think he's busy playing Papa Shot somewhere?
He might be. That's right. He's going to be in the Papa Shot.
Competitive Papa Shot player.
May have forgotten about us. I didn't text him early enough this morning. He's probably out playing golf or something. We'll get him, though. We'll get him. We can get into some other stuff right now while we wait, for sure. Yeah. I mentioned the Vita Vea injury. John Hill is a little concerned about this. He says with Vita Vea potentially hurt out for Sunday, does this injury impact the Bucs game more than Wirfs being out? Atlanta has a big running back. Yeah, it does. It's that would be huge. Vita Vea is such a huge part of what they do. And the bottom line is when he's not in there, teams run wild on the Bucs. You watch it. When he subs in and subs out, teams that when he leaves the game, they're like, we're running. Time to run the ball. And they have a lot more success. So we have to be a better run defense when Vita Vea is not in there. And if he's injured, it is a huge, huge blow but then not having Wirfs, not having Vea, not having Godwin, there's 3 Pro Bowlers off your roster. That takes you from a really good team to just a good team. At some point, the injuries, and when you're to key people like this, they hit you. And if Vita Vea were not be able to play on Sunday,
yikes.
At that point, it's a toss-up.
Yeah.
It really is, because as you mentioned, Bijan will go nuts. And you heard Dave Archer. They're confident in this offense. And Penix is like he says, he's a kid that had played 6 years in college.
Yeah,
he is not a spring chicken.
Yeah, we've talked about that on this show.
Grown ass man.
Yeah.
He's older than who was it? somebody that's been in the league started for like 4 years. Is it Jalen Hurts? He's old, like he's older than somebody in this league that's played for like 4 years.
Yeah.
Already. And I forget exactly who it is. But yeah, and again, he's not out as Christopher Holt. He just was added to the list. We don't know what his situation is. And as I said, he was walking fine yesterday. He was walking fine. I saw him. He was out, he was walking fine. So maybe they're just giving him some time off his feet. Who knows? But if he doesn't play or can't play effectively, that's a tough deal. That's a really, really tough deal.
So I saw also, you may mention this. I'm sorry if I didn't hear it. Christian Izzian and Reddick did not practice either. But yeah, I think they're expected to play though. Or as Pro Football Talk, the illustrious Mike Florio wrote, Hassan Redditt with a T.
Well, Reddit is very
on Reddit.
Yeah.
In their article.
Mike H says, JP, did you talk to Doug Williams as a Redskins fan? That Super Bowl against the Broncos, 1988. He went down with a knee in the first quarter, came back and threw 4 touchdowns. They ran for 5 touchdowns in the second. He's a legend. Yeah, that was the beatdown of the Broncos by the Redskins, and Doug Williams became the first black quarterback to win a Super Bowl, cementing himself as a legend in the game. And, his overall numbers in the NFL were not great because he didn't have a great opportunity. I mean, had he gone to a good franchise and stayed with the Bucs, they really could have built around him and had built around him. Like Jimmy Giles told us the other day, those two could have done Hall of Fame type things. But Hugh Culverhouse was too freaking cheap and too much of a racist and couldn't handle it. So he went packing. But, yeah, Doug was – and then you heard Todd Bowles yesterday talk about Doug Williams as a friend and as a mentor. Doug gave him his first coaching job and said they were both scouts working in the NFL. And then Doug got the job at Grambling, and he called Bowles and said, hey, man, I want you to be a DC. And he's like, I've never coached before. I can't do this. And he's like, yes, you can.
Yeah.
Yes. As Todd Bowles has said, Doug believed in him more than he believed in himself. And, here we are with, Todd has a Super Bowl team and has a Super Bowl ring as a DC and is ready to go. It's a great story. And Doug is a great man. And I've spoken to him many, many times, and he is revered. And Ira Kaufman asked me last year, about presenting Doug for the Hall of Fame. And he said, is that because his numbers just aren't Hall of Fame worthy, but his place in the game is. And I do think it's Hall of Fame worthy. Absolutely. 100%. As does Ira, if I'm recalling that correctly, because my brain doesn't work so good. Brad is always great to talk with. We got to talk about our time on the Bucs cruise and how much fun we had. Yeah, the dude is the most approachable guy in the world, and hopefully he'll approach this show here in a little bit. If he pops up, let me know. By the way,
yeah, well, I'll for sure jump in.
Do you have the sound loaded?
I have whatever you sent me loaded. All 3, yes.
Okay. The first one I sent you is Baker. He talks a little bit about Trask, and then he goes into the Luke Gedeke thing, and then we'll do the Gedeke thing. So, go ahead, play Baker. Let's see what Baker's talking about.
What have you seen on tape from the Falcons that presented some issues for you on Saturday? Or Sunday?
This is just kind of an overview of
some personnel changes. Haven't
the game.
seen a lot of tape of Leonard Floyd with them, but we know who he is. Great player. Obviously, they spent some early picks on edge rushers as well. Just some change in the secondary. So obviously AJ Terrell still there, great player. Jesse Bates, ball hawk, game changer guy. And Divine Diablo, a new guy in the interior linebacker level for them. Some younger DBs that are going to play. So just personnel wise, trying to figure out who's going to be where without really being able to get non-preseason tape up there to prepare with. But yeah, they're flying around. Obviously they're coached hard. Just knowing Raheem Morris and then, from talking to Hassan about Jeff, their DC, they coach those guys hard. They play hard for him, and everybody that plays for him loves him, so they're going to be flying around.
Any thoughts of reaching out to Benjamin Morrison about Xavier Watts over there? Is going to be starting for safety?
Yeah, Xavier Watts starting at safety, high pick. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll let Ben prepare on his own.
Big Pat Mahomes, all these other guys got to play in the preseason, and you did. How you feeling about it?
I'll be all right.
You good?
Yeah. Defenses don't show a lot in preseason anyway, so I'll be all right.
Baker, just how
It's true.
How difficult is
Yeah.
it entering those week 1
I think it's more in the preseason. It's more about getting ready physically, not reading defenses and stuff.
No, exactly. To me, it's about timing. It's about timing with your guys out there. And the thing is, even in preseason, it's better than practice, but it's not game speed. Yep. It's not regular season game speed. So, I think it's a personal choice. Some guys like to play, and I think Mahomes does like to play. And some guys, I think, and I just want to get Bake's take on it. How's he feel? And his answer kind of told me, like, I'll be all right. Like I probably wanted to play, and I bet he did want to play, but they held him back.
Right.
All right. Hit the next.
By the way, I think it's the first time in his career he hasn't played in the preseason.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
I think that's right. Yeah. So maybe he does have a little doubt in his head.
Yeah, we'll see.
It was an interesting, and again, on a transcript, that answer means nothing.
Right.
But his body language told you that maybe he's not okay with it. Yeah, it's like, I'll be all right.
I'll be all right.
Like I kind of wanted to play, but they said no, but we'll be fine. Because he did play in the Titans and Steelers scrimmages, and those are more, those are more active than the game. They're better than the game.
Yeah.
So, and they were very happy with what they saw. So there's no reason to put him out there. I get it. I don't have a problem with it. But some players will like to play, and I think Baker's probably one of them. But we'll see. We'll see what happens week 1. All right, give me a little bit more Baker. Give me the next one while we're waiting.
Very much. First off, I feel like you need to.
That's Gedeke. You got to have the Baker stuff first. Hold on. Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the nature of the business, which it stinks. Got close with Kyle. I love Kyle.
Yeah, this is it. He's talking about Kyle and
the time when I got here. Obviously, he's not here anymore, but wish him the best. And you never know. This is a crazy business. You never know where you can end up. And sometimes, as I know from personal experience, it's a fresh start.
When you look around the locker room, right? This is the most talent you've been around since you've been in the pro.
Without a doubt.
How is Luke so cheap? One more after Rob.
How is Luke so cheap?
Glad you brought this up.
Here we go.
He just is. We don't gamble in the building. It's not allowed. But there's a fine system that's over the history of the NFL in the O-line room. It's pretty historic. We have one not so much citizen of the O-line room that doesn't want to participate in it. So some people call it communism, anarchy, whatever you want to say. Luke's he's doing it.
Baker, from a personal standpoint.
There you go. All right, so now let's play Luke. So we go to the locker room, and Luke obviously has to defend himself. Now, he had told a story previously, Baker did, about Luke had borrowed money to get the windows on his Ford Fusion tinted when he was a rookie. So I don't know who he borrowed it from. It wouldn't have been Baker because he wasn't here.
He wasn't there yet.
But there's scuttlebutt going around. So anyway, so let's play Luke. And after his initial response, which is hilarious, by the way, I asked him about, the allegations that you have not paid this back. So here we go. This is fun stuff.
Cheapest
Luke
guy on the team?
He said, well, one, I'm a frugal guy, but he did make a comment that I've left the fine board, and that's strictly because there's a lot of bias, and I felt shackled to the fine board. There was bias towards me, where I'm racking up these unnecessary fines, whereas other guys are not getting fines. So that's why I staged a coup and I uprose against my fellow linemen, and I'm buying my way off the fine board.
Are you a frugal guy in other aspects of your life? Do you shop at TJ Maxx?
Oh, yeah. I'm a simple man all around. I mean, I still have a Ford Fusion.
A Ford Fusion.
That's what we heard.
New tint, yes. I did get new tint my rookie year. That was a nice upgrade. Before then, it was like a fishbowl. It got pretty hot in there.
There's an allegation that you took out a loan from a teammate for that tint. Is this true?
I can't remember. I don't think I took out a loan for it. If I did, I mean, I owe a lot of interest. I don't think I took out a loan for it. But no, I did definitely get tint. But yeah.
What does it mean to get this contract underway before the season began, and how grateful are you, considering especially how your career started here and where you progressed?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a whirlwind. I mean, first and foremost, thanks to God. I mean, wouldn't be here without him. The front office owners, the coaching staff, my teammates, I mean, all the staff that makes this place go day in and day out. I mean, they all have a piece to play in this whole ordeal. And I couldn't be more grateful and more thankful to be where I am today and where I've come from in my life and to where I am now today. It's a surreal moment. I don't think it's truly hit me yet. But I mean, I'm not changing. I mean, I'm the same guy day in and day out. I'm still punching the time card every morning, punching out, and trying to be the best teammate to help Bucs bring a Super Bowl back to Tampa.
Your rookie season, you were playing out of position.
Yeah, great stuff. Great stuff. And it couldn't happen to a nicer guy. As we said yesterday, he had a rocky start when they put him at left guard, and that wasn't his fault. That was a terrible decision by the offensive line coaches. Terrible decision. And it didn't work out, almost cost him his career. But they stayed patient, moved him back to his right tackle spot, and he has worked his ass off to become a premier right tackle and a very rich man. But it's funny, when you grow up and you don't have a lot of money, you see this a lot in the NFL. Even though guys get paid, their mindset does not change. Like, they're as cheap as they've ever been. It doesn't matter that he just got a check probably for $50 million. Or whatever the guaranteed bonus
still
was.
Going to TJ Maxx.
He's still going to TJ, and he literally was talking to Teddy Bridgewater about buying his 2018 Dodge Caravan as his upgrade.
By the way, they made the Ford Fusion from 2006 to 2020. So I don't know what year he has, but clearly it's probably rolled 100,000 miles.
He still has it. I can't believe that. That is amazing. Like, we got to get him into a Genesis GV80 without question.
He's not going to know what to do with that.
I don't think it's too nice a car for him. It's probably and it's not even expensive, but for him, it's probably, he's looking at 2018 minivans. I'll see if I can find the video of him, like, actually talking about it. Brad just texted me back. So, all right, let's hit a break. Let's see if we can sort this out from a time standpoint, or maybe we'll get him on a different day because we got Joey Johnston and Brooke Bennett coming in. So we'll take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side, and we may have Brad, we may have Joey, we may have everybody. We'll see.
It's a surprise.
Quick break. Stay with us. The Golden Diamond Source is working every day to be your family jeweler. Right now, a $5,000 engagement ring with 0% interest can be yours for just $83. So don't let the holidays sneak up on you this year. Now is the time to get ahead with their in-store layaway. Trade in your old jewelry for cash. Gold has never been higher. The Golden Diamond Source is offering the highest ever trade-in values for your gold and diamond jewelry. Now is the time to get your holiday shopping started. So come in now, relax, shop, and save at the Golden Diamond Source. We love Julie and Steve Weintraub, great local philanthropists, and you can find them at 3800 Omerton Road in Clearwater, where you'll always find the perfect gift, only at the Golden Diamond Source. Welcome to Kingmakers, home of the JP Peterson Show studio and Tampa's premier business networking and social club for members only. By day, it's an exclusive, vibrant co-working space with a stylish conference room, focus rooms, a full production studio, and an in-house marketing team. And by night, Kingmakers transforms into a sports-centric social hub with a full sports bar, golf simulator, and exclusive events. For young entrepreneurs and seasoned professionals, it's the perfect place to work hard, play hard, and make big moves in Midtown Tampa. Close the deal, celebrate the win. Only at Kingmakers. Become a member today at kingmakerstampa.com. Your business, your club. JP here for the Jeeves Law Group and my man Scott Jeeves, who lives right here and has long been a highly respected member of our community. He's a proud sponsor of the Tampa Riverwalk. The Jeeves Law Group is also a proud sponsor of our Grand Central District in St. Pete and has neighborhood events throughout the year. He has an office on Central Avenue in St. Pete and one on South Howard in Tampa. You can't get more local than that. So when you need an attorney, are you going to hire some huge firm that advertises all over the state or the one that supports your favorite sports show? It's the Jeeves Law Group. We're local, we're trusted, and we get results. For personal injury and personal attention, call us for a free case evaluation. That's 8889-JEEVES. That's 8889-JEEVES. With this record heat in Tampa Bay, you better have your AC unit running at peak efficiency. Third Generation Plumbing installs the best American standard AC units. Our split systems offer the highest efficiency available while reducing energy bills and maximizing comfort. That's why Third Generation Plumbing trusts American Standard Air Conditioning, built to last, made to perform. Whether it's a new install or an emergency repair, our family-owned team brings 3 generations of trusted service to your home, now with the unmatched reliability of American Standard. Plumbing or cooling, we've got Tampa covered. Call Third Generation Plumbing today, 813-961-8024, or go to thirdgenerationplumbing.com. And we also do AC.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted number 3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite.
I love it.
So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Let's go. Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by Genesis of Tampa. We were just talking about that great GV80, the GV7, or the G70. The beautiful coupes that they have there are absolutely a gas to drive. It's a gas. My dad used to say it all the time. That's a gas. But you can, they go. They go. Great engines, great engineering, a premier touring car at a fraction of the cost of some of the bigger boys. But it is a fabulous vehicle. You must test drive. Go by Genesis of Tampa, 801 East Bears Avenue. Tell them JP sent you, and just take a little test drive. They've got some great lease deals going on right now. And by the way, when you do service with Genesis, they come to you with a loaner car, drop it off, and then they bring your car back. You never have to leave your office, never have to leave your house when you have service. They do that for you. So it's an awesome, and that just comes with it. And if you get a new car there, you get the extended 10-year, $250,000 Murphy Auto Group warranty as well. So much better to deal with Genesis of Tampa, the Murphy Auto Group. You get so many extra perks, and it's a great place to do business. Great folks over there. So get on over, tell them JP sent you. Talk to Brad, since we're kind of stacked with guests today. He said he would come on tomorrow or next week, so we'll set that up, and we'll definitely get him on.
Good enough.
Hopefully, we'll try to get him on tomorrow. We got Josh Capo. I recorded that. We did a preview. We were going to put that on today, but we had too many guests, so we have to move that to tomorrow. We just got too much content, bro.
Dang it, Josh. Josh got bumped.
No, he didn't. No, he just got pushed to prime time Friday. So. Yeah, we got a good Falcons Bucs preview from the Falcons side, so we'll do the Bucs from the Bucs side tomorrow. It's more information than you need to. And I love bringing Arch on. I love bringing Josh on, because we did, the interview we did last night. He brought up a lot of different things that I don't think of, and he has a great perspective from an X's and O's standpoint. Super smart guy. So we'll do that tomorrow, and then we'll get Brad on tomorrow as well. So there you go. We're rolling through it.
We call that a tease.
Yeah, there you go. So I just sent you some more audio of Emeka Egbuka that we talked to him yesterday. So I want to give you a little sense. This guy is he's like a 10-year veteran. And it's so funny. And you've heard all these comparisons to Godwin, and Godwin was the same way. Like when he got here, we're all like, yeah, this guy's like 35-year-old man. He's like, Jason Light tells this story. When they brought him in for rookie minicamp, he's like, hey, we have a service here, a concierge service here, so we'll help you get an apartment. We'll help you get settled here. He's like, I've already done that. I'm good.
Wow, he's got his life together already. Doesn't he?
Oh my God, it's like day one. As soon as he gets drafted, he's on the phone. He's already got his apartment. He's moved in. He's got everything. So Buka's just like the same way. He's just like buttoned up. It just when you talk to him, it's like talking to a CEO of IBM. He just is so he's just so focused in. And so anyway, when you get that ready, let me know. We'll pop it up. Meanwhile, I will get to some of these great texts that we have here. Michael LaRue, good morning to you. He says the Rays treating their fans poorly is just another Tuesday at the ballpark. Hopefully the new Zalewski ownership treats fans better than the current one does. It's September. When's the sale closing? Well, we've heard September 15th. That's been reported. I've just heard sometime in September. So it's going to happen. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine. It just can't happen soon enough. I don't know if you saw this, but Camanero's 40th home run, Timmy. I retweeted it. There was the kid that caught it jumped a fence to go down and get it and then came back into the ballpark. So it's a restricted area. So if you go into a restricted area, obviously you can get ejected.
Sure.
So, okay, but now what do we do about the ball? So in the video, the cop and the security guards at the Stein are saying, hey, that's Major League Baseball property. That's the Rays property. You have to give it to us. And the guy's like, no, I'm not giving it up.
Yeah.
And so they're like, there's like this physical confrontation and it's all on video.
Oh, wow.
And it looks really bad. It looks really bad. I maybe I can send it to you, and it's just, so I understand the rules. He jumped the fence, got it, got the ball, got it. Okay. So now, and I don't know how confrontational he was with the cops before the video started. All I know is this. It's a horrible look for the Rays. It is a horrible PR look for the Rays to have a security group surrounding a man, basically detaining him to forcefully remove a baseball from his hand. That was Camanero's 40th. Again, I don't know what all went on before the video started, and he did go into a restricted area, so there are some things that are qualifiers here. There's no question. But damn, if it's not the Rays, hey, we're having a yard sale, that turns into a disaster. You know,
you want to play it? I got it right here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's play it.
Sir, I'm being detained for no reason right now. There's nothing against me. I caught a home run ball, and now they're trying to physically look.
Hey, listen, stop.
That's what I'm saying.
Just stop.
Okay.
Just stop, okay? I'm recording too. Just stop. Relax. Take a deep breath. Relax.
I'm just leaving the stadium.
Use the ball.
The ball is mine, property. I caught the ball.
Here, the thing is, you didn't have the ball. You went over the fence to get the ball.
I had the ball. No, I caught the ball.
You went over the fence.
I caught the ball.
You went over the fence.
He's lying.
No, I did not go over the fence.
I saw you run down the stairs.
You cannot tell me run down the fence.
You ran down the stairs.
She asked me if I could stay here because she wanted to give the ball to Junior, and I said that's
just
fine.
so you understand, you're on private property.
That's the property of the Rays, not yours, no matter how you got it.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Doesn't matter. You're on
I don't
private
understand
property.
why you guys are detaining me for anything. Like I was there.
MLB wants the ball, period.
Okay.
I need the ball.
All right. So
Give me your reaction.
Do they have video? Is he on video jumping the fence and going to a restricted area?
There were witnesses that in the comments said they saw him go jump the fence.
Yeah, I'm kind of on security side here.
Okay.
I also get his side. You're a fan and you have a right to the ball, but if you had to trespass in order to get it, I don't think it's yours. I'm on the team side on this.
Yeah, it's a bad look. Like, could we not have handled this better?
Yeah.
Could we not have and again, I don't know what went on before the video started. And the guy was clearly a little bit frantic and he wanted the ball and he understands the value of the ball. And I don't listen, if you catch it fairly in the stands, I've never seen the Rays treat somebody like that when you caught it, but he violated it and he went and he's lying about it too, according to the witnesses. You know, the witnesses now, these are people just that are on Twitter saying they saw him, where the ball landed, blah, blah, blah. So, I tend to believe him.
Yeah.
But again, it's just
what they should have done, what the team should have done is calmly said, hey, that's Junior's 40th ball. Can we talk to you about the ball? And let's go in here. Let's go somewhere private and let's talk about the ball, see what we can do for you. And then say, look, we know you got the ball. You had to trespass to get it. Legally, we can take it from you. We don't want to do that.
Right. Which they may have done.
Exchange
Which they may have done. We just
for
didn't
the
see
ball.
Right.
Yeah.
Which they may have done.
Caminero sign another ball for you, or can he sign a bat?
Yeah.
You want some glove? Whatever.
And he did say that he wanted to wait there to give it to Junior.
Right.
So I'm wondering if he went to wait to give it to Junior and they got all uppity on him.
Yeah, it seems like that was just handled actually on both parts, right? On his by lying about it, and security for not overreacting, but I don't know, maybe overreacting.
It just never stops with the Rays. It's like it's just always the worst look possible.
Keep digging their hole deeper, right?
Like I don't know what, it's just crazy. Richie P says security should have said, "Look, guy, let's talk about this and not get worked over a baseball." Yeah, it just the fact that they were grabbing him and detaining him, that's weird. That's weird. Christopher Cole says the Rays are a joke. Thank you for that input. Mario Christian said, Red Zone at ESPN, in my opinion, should have never merged. Commercials will ruin the viewership of the content on Sundays. So you hear this? Red Zone is going to have commercials.
Okay, well, now look, I'm as upset about everybody as this, but this is not ESPN. ESPN only has 10% this season. This is not, the commercials are not done by ESPN right now. This is the NFL that is putting commercials in Red Zone. ESPN doesn't have the power to do that this season. This is all NFL driven. And I think is what the NFL is trying to do is get as much revenue out of that puppy as they can. In the last year, they've got the rights to it.
And here's the other part about it. And I texted with some folks at Channel 8. Remember, I was bitching about the picture-in-picture while they were almost scored a touchdown. Well, that was an error in terms of timing, but they told me that the NFL is pushing these local broadcasts to start doing picture-in-picture in the preseason. Why? So they can bring it in to the regular season.
Sure.
And I am, we need to start a fan group that has some real chops, on social media. FanStream Sports is a great place to do it, where we have to have a voice against the over commercialization of sports. It's just it's really intruded on college football. College football, I don't know the exact numbers. I got to get them, but every break is over 3 minutes, 3 minutes and 15 seconds. And actually it's probably 3:30 in terms of action, because when the guy comes on the field with the stick, the timing stick with the 20-yard line, it says 3:15. And I'm pretty sure they've added an extra break every quarter. Sure. So college football games take forever. And if you're sitting in one, like I was at Doe Campbell Stadium, thankfully undercover, but if you're sitting out in 95-degree heat in the sun and you got to wait through these insufferable commercial breaks, it's brutal. And it really affects the momentum of the game. Big time. You gotta, and I saw it this week. You got FSU and this crowd's going bananas, and you got great momentum, and you get to a break that's 3 minutes and 30 seconds long. It just takes it resets the entire mood of the stadium. And, it really takes away a home field advantage in a big way. So I'm not up for this over commercialization of sports. It's getting ridiculous.
And the problem is it's all about money. That's literally all it's about. And commercials are necessary. We run commercials on the network, obviously, because they pay us money. There's nothing inherently wrong with that. It's business, right? I mean, as much as we're entertainment, we're a business at the same time, and we have to have revenue to survive. But there are places for that, and I think that when you oversaturate your program, whether it's radio, TV, podcast, whatever, with ads, people will lose interest very quickly. So it's a balance that's there, and you have to stay under the line of overdoing it. And once you get to that point and you cross that line, there's no coming back.
Yeah, I agree. And to this point, and I think David is spot on. David Terry here. Why the hell did the NFL decide to play a division game in friggin' Brazil for the first game? What the hell are we doing here? If I'm Patrick Mahomes, they have to play. I have to, but they play every Thursday, Sunday night, Friday, Christmas, like every bullshit time slot that the NFL comes up with. They got to put their premier teams in it. Those guys rarely play 1 o'clock games. And I just think there needs to be a better mix. And I get it. You know, you want to have the stars, but people have access to the games that they want to see, right? I just don't know why we have to be force-fed on these primetime windows, the same teams all the time. And to go this whole Brazil thing, I mean, I get it, but at some point, does the money grab just from a fan standpoint, just say enough is enough? I mean, if the NFL is like, yeah, well, it's not hurting us. Our ratings have never been better. You know, they've never been bigger. So we can bitch about it all we want, but at some point, it gets really cumbersome to watch.
Out of 17 games this season, the Chiefs play 4 early contests: Tennessee, Chargers, Colts, and Raiders. Games that nobody's going to watch anyway.
Rick said that dude with the baseball was probably the same douchebag that parked in the handicap spot at Panera that JP harassed a few months ago. Stupid kids with their social media BS. Yeah, I kind of get that feeling. You know, I want to rip the Rays bad for this, but he kind of comes off a little douchey too, like he's trying to set the whole thing up.
Yes,
like
he was.
You know, yeah, that's true. Christopher Cole amends his statement, said, let me say it differently. Rays ownership is a joke. Yes, the current one is. Absolutely. All right, do you have the Mecca loaded up?
Maybe.
Yep, that'd be it.
I'll make sure.
They roll it a couple seconds in. Emeka Abuka now going for number 9 to number 2, his Ohio State number.
Hope you didn't go buy those 9 jerseys.
They get free replacement though.
Do they?
Great.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, I feel like
Bucs
we're
did that.
establishing good connection as an entire offensive unit. We put in a lot of hard work to get to this point, and now the season's upon us. So we got to trust in all the work that we put in and just let it rip on Sunday.
You've clearly played in a lot of big games. How do you think you're going to be feeling in the locker room right before this one?
Probably the same. There's never been a football game that I wasn't nervous for. So I just think that means you care a lot, which I do. So I'm really excited to get out there Sunday. I know what the nerves are going to feel like. I've played on big stages before, like you said. So you just got to be able to harness it. And then, you know, that first hit, them pads popping gets you ready.
And you're familiar with the optics of this stadium.
Oh, yeah.
Before. You played in some big games here.
This is the last game I played in, actually. The national championship was in Atlanta. So familiar setting for me. Had, you know, very good outcomes and some not so good outcomes at the stadium. So, you know, very familiar with it and kind of know what I'm going into.
Played a lot of very talented players in college at Ohio State, but going into week 1 in the NFL, you got guys like Jesse Bates and Nate Terrell in the secondary. How excited are you to kind of hit the ground running and play against some of the NFL's best immediately?
Yeah, I'm super excited. I mean, this is what it's all about. The NFL is the best against the best. So I'm really excited to be able to test my talents and, you know, see how I'm able to perform. You know, I already have an idea from going to get some guys in practice and stuff like that. And when it comes to their safeties, like Xavier Watts, he was the last college game I played against him. So familiar faces out there, but also some new ones. Really talented people. I'm excited to be able to display my talents.
As a wide receiver, when you're doing film study against defense.
All right. Emeka Abuka right there. He's just a pro. He's a pro's pro.
Yeah.
Hey, a couple other quick notes here. Mario Christian says another around the league nugget. It sounds like the Eagles are not going to watch their own banners get dropped during the pregame due to coaches' rules. How lame is that? Yeah, Sirianni said he was asked about the banner going up and all that. And he's like, yeah, I didn't know anything about it. We're not going to be out there.
Biggest bunch of crock I have ever heard in my life that he didn't know. God, I hate that dude. What a tool.
Well, you know, he's trying to do the whole we've turned the page thing. We're not thinking about last year. So
right, then say that. Don't say you didn't effing know. You're a coach's son. You're a lifelong coach. You're a lifer. You know when the freaking banner is going up for probably the only championship you are ever going to win.
Yeah. And I get it. It's a mind game for his team. I get it. But it's also something for the owner and the fans and the players. The players work their ass off. You don't think they want that moment in their own? I mean, they did not a lot of celebration. Obviously, they had parades and all that stuff. I get it. But I think this is a moment that the players want to share with the fans. Come on.
Yeah, because you might not ever have another one. So I mean,
right.
I get the reason why he's doing it, but dude, just beat. Nick Sirianni has maybe the most punchable face in all of the NFL. Swear to God. Swear to God.
All right, on that note, let's welcome in our USF sideline reporter who does not have a punchable face. He is the adorable and handsome Joey Johnston, who's going to join us every week at this time to talk about USF football. And dadgummit, we got something to talk about, Joey.
Finally we do.
That was a slobber knocker I witnessed last, Thursday night. It's been a week now, and I still can't get over that USF defense. Where the hell did that come from? What in the name of Todd Orlando was that?
Yeah, it came from like 2007, I think.
Right?
That's the last time we saw a USF defense playing like that. I mean, it literally, JP, has been that long since USF has won a big game with defense being the main component.
Driver,
I mean, USF has been a team that's outscored people and had great dazzling quarterback play and all that. But man, getting down and dirty and shutting somebody down like that, it's been a long time in coming. So man, if the defense can play like that, that changes the template for this season. So we'll have to see if it's more than a one-game anomaly or something we're going to see every week.
So Jalen Schuler was named. He got an award this week. I forget which one it is.
National Defensive Player of the Week by
the
Walter Camp Foundation.
He was amazing. Yeah, both linebackers. Let's name some names here on this defense that played so well.
Yeah, we'll start with Jalen Schuler and Matt Harris. The linebackers were great. Tavin Ward, the free safety, and Deshaun Rucker, the cornerback, were sure tacklers in the secondary. And up front, a guy that did not appear on the stat sheet, Devin Lee, the nose tackle, had no tackles, but did a lot of dirty work on the interior and allowed the rush ends to get some penetration. So you have a 300-pound guy in the middle of the line that can occupy people. That's going to be a valuable component. You might not hear a lot about him, but he's extremely valuable.
Yeah, and I thought that was a big reason why Boise State didn't run all over them. I expected them to. Just because Ashton Genty didn't play didn't mean they weren't. They had a very experienced offensive line, good backs. They've had a lot of good backs at Boise State, and they've all run well, but they didn't this game. That was surprising to me, and Devin Lee gets the credit, and the linebackers, everybody gets the credit, and the turnovers, they forced 3 turnovers, and they were all forced turnovers. They weren't the unforced variety. So physicality really surprised me.
Yeah, turnovers of aggression, and conversely, the Bulls had 0 turnovers, so a +3 in the turnover, and that, as you know, that predicts victories almost as accurately as any other statistic that we have. So if the Bulls can be that kind of team. Another thing, I don't know if a lot of people know this, but Byron Brown has now gone 206 straight attempts without an interception, dating back to 2023. So, and he's about to break Marquell Blackwell's program record if he has another 30-pass game against Florida, let's say, and doesn't throw a pick. He's going to have the program record. So the Bulls' ability to hold the ball and not give it to the other team as another good factor of their success. So, everything's came up roses for the most part. Not perfect, I will say this. I mean, the Bulls have got to run the ball and did not do a good job of that against Boise State. That's got to improve because they've got a veteran offensive line and some decent backs, although many of them are new. But that's something I'll be looking at really closely in Gainesville. Can USF move the chains by running the ball? If they can't, I think that's a problem. So they've got to pick that area of the game up this week.
Joey Johnston joining us here, USF Bulls sideline reporter, longtime Tampa Tribune writer. You mentioned Byron Brown and his running ability. Obviously, it's not what you're talking about is the running backs, the running game. His running ability is just a totally different deal. Yeah. And I had forgotten how hard he is to bring down. And the best run of his night was the one that was called back for holding. He broke, I think, 5 tackles and ran away from some guys. The other 2 touchdown runs were incredible in their own right as he sought out the safety at the goal line to knock the crap out of him. I don't think I've seen a quarterback do that in quite some time. But he's an X factor, and just talk a little bit about his performance in this game.
Yeah, it was outstanding running the ball. I mean, he's 6'3.5", 232 pounds. He came to USF as a 190-pounder, So we're talking about 42 pounds gained and chiseled muscle. This guy is an athlete and he eats right, he sleeps right, he hydrates, he does everything proper for his body. So you have to admire that. But the kid is a weapon running the ball, and he's just very difficult to bring down. And I know the fans love the fact that he lowered his shoulder and wasted these defensive backs and linebackers. We may not see that as much in the future.
He needs to stop that.
I asked him and asked Alex Golish, and Byram himself said part of the reason he did that was he thought the team needed a jolt, needed some emotion, which certainly that provided emotion. But he said, I think I'm pretty much going to slide on most of those occasions in the future. So I think discretion is going to creep in a little bit. But the kid is a beast. And I told him, I said, Byram, if I was just meeting you for the first time and somebody asked what position you think this guy is, I think I'd say outside linebacker. I wouldn't say quarterback. The other funny thing about this game at Florida, DJ Lagway, they list him at 247. So we got a couple of big boys at quarterback in this game. It's going to be real. Yeah. He's no easy guy to bring down either. So the quarterback play is going to be fascinating in this game.
All right, so let's transition to that game. Obviously, it's a very different opportunity here. You're playing on the road, but it's a place where, with the last few years against Florida, Miami, Alabama, USF has gone toe-to-toe with these teams, and this is a much better USF team, I believe, than what we saw last week. So, suddenly I'm like, I didn't think USF could win this game, and now I'm like, okay, you got a puncher's chance, if not more. What is the mentality you sense around the team this week?
Oh, the team is extremely confident going up to Gainesville. I mean, some guys are still on the team from 2022. They went up to Gainesville, should have won the game. They lost it 31-28, but made some critical errors late, but really outplayed the Gators in that. And so I think, the concept of going to Gainesville and winning is not a foreign thing. I mean, this is something that could happen if they play well and if Florida does not play well. The interesting thing is I think Florida's got a pretty good team. The quarterback is excellent. They've got a big offensive line. They've got playmakers. And you talk to the USF coaches, and they played Long Island 55-0. I mean, I don't know what you're going to get from this film exactly. Not a lot. But Florida State played Alabama, USF played Boise State, Miami played Notre Dame, and Florida played Long Island. So a little bit of an anomaly there in the non-conference philosophy. But I do think Florida is going to be a winning team, a bowl team, a good team, and they play LSU and Miami after this week, so they've got an interesting schedule, but. And I think their fans realize this now is they can't overlook this one. As USF comes into Gainesville, they cannot overlook this game. Maybe they thought they could, but they certainly know they can't now. So, again, I think it's USF's ability to control the ball, to keep the crowd out of the game, to keep the chains moving. That's really what I think is going to be critical for USF, and to not make the catastrophic mistakes. But I do believe, they're going to go up there with an air of confidence, and they certainly have the ability to win this game. They just have to execute and not make mistakes.
Yeah. Well, I look at the offensively. I think they can score points. Obviously, with Byram, he's so multiple, and Golish is a gifted play caller. And if they can, those 3 and outs that killed them last year offensively did not bite them in the butt in this particular game, but it could against Florida, and then things start going a little bit awry. So how important is it for this team to continue to get first downs and make big plays and be able to, as you said, keep that crowd quiet?
Yeah, I think it's everything. I think that's really the bottom line to USF having a good chance at it is they cannot go 3 and out and get off the field and put their defense in bad situations. If that starts happening, I think it's going to be a bad news situation for the Bulls. Obviously it's the kind of thing where if they could somehow get a scoop and score or a cheap touchdown or something, that would help them too. They're going to have to earn everything they get, but if they could somehow, flip the field position, get a special teams score or something like that, that would really help them. But get some nice long drives, keep the crowd uneasy and quiet, and just play mistake-free football. And then I think they have a chance with that approach to take it into the fourth quarter, and then anything can happen.
Joey, how'd they come out of this game one health-wise? Any because depth is going to be a huge issue with this team. If they can get through these first 3 games and not sustain any major injuries, especially on the lines of scrimmage and quarterback, I think they'll be in good shape in the conference. But how are we looking so far?
Pretty good. We have the biggest injury is one that occurred before the first game. Derek Bowman, who was one of their starting offensive tackles, is out. He will probably be out for a few more weeks. So they've reshuffled the line. Zane Herring, former Florida State player, actually played left tackle for the first time ever, actually, and did pretty well against Boise State. So I don't know if that was a 1-week thing or they're going to reshuffle it again. They do have 2 new players. Connor McLaughlin, former Jesuit player who played at Stanford, was the right tackle, played pretty well, and Thomas Schrader, Florida State, Appalachian State, is like an interior player for them. So they've got the experience along the offensive line, even with the injury to Derek Bowman. But again, they're talking about a very athletic and large line for the Gators. So it's a little bit of a higher level of competition, and the running game didn't work well. The offensive line wasn't great last week, so they've got to up that. They can't have Byram getting sacked, and they've got to be able to get some running game. So if the Gators can get penetration and stymie the Bulls and put them in 3rd and longs, again, that's not a good situation either.
Yeah. All right, this is going to be a fun one. What's kind of the mood around there right now, and going up to Gainesville? What are the plans? It's kind of a weird start time, right? 4:30.
Yeah, actually it's 4:15. Believe it or not, that's a very strange start time, I guess, for television. Well, first of all, from my standpoint, being the sideline reporter, the weather, I'm sure it will be very hot. I don't know if it's going to rain or not. We just hope for no delays, no lightning or anything like that. But we expect it to be rather hot. But Boise State certainly provided confidence beating a team like that. I think they're going up there to take care of business. I mean, this is not a situation, I think, where they're going to be in great awe. They're going to go in there and think, we can take this game. We deserve it just like they do. And I'm not sure that people looked at it quite that way a few weeks ago.
No, but definitely not.
They're looking at it's okay. You got a 3-game gauntlet that we've been talking about forever. Okay, we're 1-0. If the Bulls can get Florida or Miami and come out of it 2-1, or for God's sakes 3-0, I don't know if I can imagine that. But if they did, oh my Lord, what are we talking about here?
They're going to the playoff.
JP, absolutely. I think if they could do that, I don't think they can. But if they could sweep and go 3-0, they are the favorite to get in the playoff for sure.
2-1 will do it. If they go 2-1. And win 11 games in conference.
I think what it would come down to, I think, would be a championship game against Tulane in the American, who they don't play in the regular season, but Tulane really handily beat Northwestern. They're playing Ole Miss, they're playing Duke, so Tulane has a chance to get some good victories. So that could be the collision course, and we could have a big time American Conference championship game between. That'd
be a playing game if they go 2-1.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I think so.
There's not going to be another group of 5 team with that would be 2 top 25 in Miami or Florida. Florida's 13. Miami's 6 or 7. I mean, either one of those is going to be a top 15 win. No group of 5 is going to have that. No way.
No, you're right. And USF's American schedule is pretty manageable. I mean, there is a trip to Memphis, there is a trip to Navy, but they can get through this. They can get through this.
Listen, if you're blowing out Boise State, you beat Florida or Miami, I'm not worried about going to Memphis.
No.
I mean, you should be.
No.
They haven't won a conference, and there are no givens at all.
Yeah. The tricky one will be at Navy because of the way they play. And that's late in the season, November. Maybe there's some weather. I don't know, but that could shape up as the huge game. But it would be great for that American Conference if we get let's say an 11-1 USF team against an 11-1 or maybe even 12-0 Tulane team. Wow, that would be sensational. And again, yeah, that would be a college football playoff play-in game. So we can dream about it at this point, but I guess we could also imagine it if USF can take care of the Gators. This thing could be, we might be on a collision course with something special here.
All right, Joey, pack your hydration and your neck fan and all that good stuff, and have a great weekend in Gainesville. Bring us back a dub.
Yeah, and I got to say, man, I just watched it on television. What about the Seminoles? Good grief.
Oh, dude, it was unbelievable.
What a win for the Noles, man.
I was there. It was like Doak Campbell in the 90s, man. It was,
yeah.
Bert Kreischer got up on the big screen and was like, this is the house that Bobby built. And everybody went bananas. He did the whole wrestling thing. Oh, it was great.
College football is terrific when Florida State, Miami, and Florida are good. So I love to see it, and USF for that matter. But it's USF, great to see the state of Florida getting off to a big start. So that I think the industry is much better when those teams are good.
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah, especially my job and your job.
Yes,
definitely much better. All right, Joey, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Have a good trip. We'll talk to you next week.
JP. Talk to you. All right, bye-bye.
Cannot wait. Got a weekend of college football and pro football. Just not gonna leave the house. Nothing but great stuff.
We got football tonight. We got football tomorrow night. If you have YouTube, we've got Saturday college. We've got Sunday NFL. We've got Monday NFL.
Yeah,
JP, I might not leave the house.
You shouldn't. All right, quick break. When we come back, Brooke Bennett's going to join us, 3-time gold medalist. We'll talk some Olympics, some enhanced games, probably some bucs, Rays, whatever we want to talk about. She covers it all, or has in her illustrious career, so we'll chat with her. We're brought to you by the great folks at Third Generation Plumbing and American Standard Air Conditioning. The two of them will combine to give you a perfect installation of a new unit that is the most reliable, the most efficient, and the best, and that's American Standard. They are the American Standard in air conditioning units, and Third Generation Plumbing is the best in terms of service and install. So go to their website, thirdgenerationplumbing.com. Talk to my man, John Rodriguez, the owner there, and get your install set up. They'll give you a free 1-year maintenance agreement as well with a new install. If you mention the JP Peterson Show, $100 value. So do that, thirdgenerationplumbing.com. Back in 3. JP here for Riveters, the official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. We're located just south of Ray J and Steinbrenner Field, so it's a great pre- and post-game spot, and the happy hour is amazing. Monday through Friday, 3 to 7. Check out these specials. $3 Bud Light drafts, $4 domestic bottles, $5 wells, $6 premium wells, $6 cocktails like margaritas. That's unheard of. And the Riveters food is freshly made daily. No freezers. Happy hour food specials include $3.50 tacos and barbecue sliders. $6 you get edamame or chips with the beer cheese, which is amazing. $8 buffalo chicken dip, my favorite. The truffle fries, chili cheese fries, also $8 at happy hour, as well as other specials throughout the week, including Taco Tuesdays, you get $3 tacos, and Wing Wednesdays, 7 o'clock to 1 a.m. in the morning, you get our amazing wings, 5 for $5 and $5 wells and wines. That's a good Wednesday night. So if you're tired of the preppy, overpriced, generic sports bars, come see the amazing, friendly bartenders and staff at Riveters, where customer service really matters. Riveters, just south of where the Rays and Bucs play. We'll see you there. Experience the art of driving at Genesis of Tampa, where luxury meets innovation and every detail is crafted for you. From the bold G70 to the refined GV80, Genesis delivers power, elegance, and technology years ahead of its time. Book service online, and our Genesis Experience advisors will pick you up and drop off your vehicle. If available, you can enjoy a courtesy car while yours gets a complimentary interior vacuum plus a generous offer for your trade. Every new Genesis comes with the Miracle Advantage Plan, 10 years or 250,000 miles of powertrain warranty and 4 years of complimentary maintenance. Visit us at 801 East Bears Avenue or online at genesisoftampa.com. Genesis of Tampa, luxury redefined. Italiano Insurance would like to congratulate the Bucs on their 50th anniversary season. And you know what? We've been here for every season and then some, over 60 years in business. We've seen some smart coaches with great game plans, but if you don't have flood insurance or business insurance, that's a terrible game plan. That could ruin you financially. You don't want to take that L. So call 813-877-7799 and let their friendly agents quarterback your insurance and save you big money. Italiano also sponsors our FSU report every week, so go Noles. 813-877-7799 or go to italianoinsurance.com. JP here for my friend Jason Fawcett, owner of On-Site Construction. They do residential and commercial renovations and new construction. As a leading home builder and general contractor, On-Site Construction prides itself on transforming homes through superior craftsmanship, dedication to client vision, and an unmatched commitment to quality and service. It's about building relationships. We take the time to understand our clients' needs, preferences, and budgets so that we can deliver a personalized experience tailored to their unique vision. From the initial designs to the final touches, we're there every step of the way, ensuring that the end result mirrors your vision. Here are some testimonials from happy customers. G. Gibson says, no hidden costs, very honest, reliable, creative, and communicates well. Reasonable and fair with their pricing, no hidden costs. C. Smith said, did not disappoint. I'm very happy with the work. This company really cares and will take care of it. So if you're just thinking about building or renovating, give us a call and let's see what's possible. 813-579-5789 or check out our website at onsiteconstructionfl.com. Are you having legal issues with a business partner or other legal business issues? The attorneys at Walters, Levine & DeGrave can help. Call 800-616-0384 for a free consultation. At Walters, Levine & DeGrave, we've redefined what a law firm can be with top-tier attorneys, personal service, and 26 years of success. From business law to civil litigation, we deliver smart, client-focused solutions. Walters, Levine & DeGrave recently won a $6.4 million jury verdict from a large real estate developer, and they can win for you too. Walters, Levine & DeGrave. Let's solve it together. Not attorney spokesman. For a free consultation, call 800-616-0384 or go to walterslevine.com. Offices Tampa, Sarasota.
Let's go. Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show here as we welcome in the great Brooke Bennett. You want to take my long shot there? Can you do that? Welcome back. There we are. We got everybody. In the shot. What's up, Brooke? How are you?
I wanted to say happy Friday, but it's not there yet, but we're close.
It kind of feels like Friday, actually.
Monday holidays mess me up. And my kids this whole week, like my son woke up this morning, Mom, what day is it? And I'm like, well, let's think about this. So
look at you. You just don't tell them. You figure it out.
I do.
Right,
well,
there you go.
They ask me what time it is. And I go, there's a clock on the microwave.
There you go.
So I don't quickly give them the answer. I'm like, they're old enough now, 8 and 10. They got to figure those things out themselves.
Right.
I'm like, and then I go, your clothes. I cleaned out the couch the amount of crumbs under the couch, but then the missing sock.
Oh yeah.
2 t-shirts, a pair of underwear. What are you doing to leave that kind of stuff that's cramped underneath the couch?
You don't want to know.
It's boys.
You don't want to know.
It's gross. But I told him, I was like, I'm your mother. I'm not your maid. Like I did that, for all those years. You're 8 and 10. There's things that you have to do yourself. Put your shoes away. Put them where they belong.
I love it. Brooke Bennett, the mom. Listen, I have stepchildren now, so I'm trying to. My older one's 22 and 26, and they're doing fantastic. So I got a 9 and 12-year-old now, a 13, soon to be 13, and they're
boy or girl.
The older one's a boy, younger one's a girl, and they're just adorable. But man, they are. Yeah, it's a whole different world. It's a whole different world. This now having access to this. My kids had phones, but not smartphones until way later.
Yeah.
But now it's just it's hard. It's just my old dad stuff doesn't work on these kids at all.
No, it does. You try, and I try to use a little bit of like my mom's sayings or like what my grandmother used to say, and it just doesn't phase them.
It doesn't work. Yeah.
And true, it's the social media aspect. Like they're asking when they can have their own YouTube channel. I'm like, never. Yeah. I'm thinking And I'm like, I'm hoping by the time that they're old enough that it's kind of died out, but that's wishful thinking.
No.
And they want to watch YouTube and
that's all they watch.
And I'm like, oh, so you kind of let them, because I always say you don't want to shelter them too much.
Right.
You want to protect them, but you have to let them experience things. And then, words, and they're starting to ask questions. And I'm like, ask your dad that one. I'm not going to go there yet.
Now, parenting in this age it's very difficult.
Yeah.
And it's tough for the kids, and you want to be cognizant of that and compassionate of it.
Yeah.
But I still think old school parenting is where it's at.
I agree.
And
it's the old school meets the new world mix, but more old school.
Yeah.
Like I tell them all the time, I'm like, I will embarrass you. Like you are not too old or too big that I will not. We were somewhere in public the other day, and my youngest was being, just a little bit too silly and goofy. They're not bad, but they just are silly and goofy. And I was like, enough is enough. Or like, I'm gonna beat your rear end.
Yeah.
Like I'm not ashamed of that at all.
We'll do it right here in the Walmart.
So
that is not a problem.
And I think as a mom that my 10-year-old stands almost even with me. He's over 100 pounds.
Oh, wow.
So big boy, their dad's big, 6'4", almost 6'5". So they're going to be tall, big boys. But I remind them all the time, mommy will take you down. Somehow in some way, or they want to still wrestle with me and they go to jump on me. And I was like, mommy's back can't take it.
Not today. Not today. Not today.
But they're fun. They're fun. But I'm coming into it. I'm sure you've experienced this with the 13-year-old. I say I have the pre-teen, like the 10-year-old, attitude. And
oh God, yeah.
I'm going through the phase of, I think boys attach to their mommies when they're babies and they're toddlers, and it's mommy and it's the comfort. My 8-year-old still lets me do that. My 10-year-old is like, not anymore.
Not anymore.
So I'm going through this phase where I sometimes feel disconnected with him. And I'm like, okay, this is a phase.
That's a good thing.
Because down the road, I always feel like boys revert back to their
That's
mom.
a good thing. Don't worry about it.
Nurture, feed them.
Take advantage of it.
Yeah.
It's better than them hanging on you. Trust me. It's better than that. And being whiny. You don't want that either.
Yeah, mom 101 here.
So you worked for Bright House when?
I was
you were a sports reporter.
So that, it's
which is now Spectrum, by the way.
Spectrum. So I was with them from 2009 to 2013.
Yeah. So I was going to ask you if you covered that Buccaneers, but you did not.
No,
I
was still the baby then.
You grew up
02 team. Yeah,
you grew up with that team.
I grew up with that team, and for my second Olympics and coming back to the Tampa Bay area in 2000, and then for the Tampa Bay Bucs to be on the rise and the best they've ever been in that franchise, I kind of got to grab on to the coattails and ended up doing a lot of different things in Tampa with, all of those guys on the team, and a lot with Brooks and Allstott and Rondé. And, one of the things that I say all the time in Lynch and all of those guys is I love seeing, the success, but also the ones that have stayed in the community. In fact, as I was getting ready to come over here, I was texting Derek Brooks about a couple of things. Constantly in contact, was meeting with Rich Clements, who runs the Mike Family All-Star Foundation. So keeping in touch with those guys and what they're doing now and what I'm doing now, and that our worlds still sync together.
How about that? That's pretty cool. Huh?
That's what makes Tampa Bay area so cool. I say it all the time. As big as we can be, and that we have, the teams, and we've got the pro teams, it's still in its own unique way just a small town. We can talk about how big Tampa is and how big St. Pete is, and how the community is growing and people moving into the area, but you can't take away that small town feel. And I think that's what makes Tampa really special.
I hope so, because as it grows, it gets worse. The traffic gets worse. The people are a little bit more rude. And so I feel it's slipping. I've always felt like Tampa Bay was a really different place.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to explain it to people that aren't from here, because everybody thinks Tampa's like Miami. And I'm like, no, we're not even two completely different worlds.
Listen, don't come in here in Miami or Tampa.
No,
don't New York.
But I look at Bayshore. And I grew up down there. I look at Bayshore and I remember Biscayne Bay, and I'm like, oh, there were a few condo towers. Now it's just lined. And same thing on our Bayshore. Another condo tower goes up every day. And it's like, we love the growth. We love being a bigger city, but I want to hold on to that small town feel. I don't want to become Miami. I don't want to become LA. We don't want that. And it's what when I have these moments leading into this, where we were at the other night to Raise the Flags, the documentary, it was such a hometown moment.
Yes.
And it was, we're bringing back that 2002 team, and even going back to the beginning and the great success with Doug Williams and Jimmy Giles and Leroy Selman. And we relived all those. And I was like, man, this is, to your point, this is what makes Tampa Bay great. And then Brady came in, and he was as authentic as he's ever been, which was rare in public. And I don't say that in a pejorative way. He's just, he's a freaking megastar. He just has to live his life a different way. But he was so authentic, and he talked about, it was so fun playing in Tampa, and the fans, it was just different than New England. And it was kind of in that hometown, more, kind of the way he grew up in a very kind of middle-class family in California, before they wrecked California. It was just, and it was cool. It was cool to bring it all together from the history. And it is what makes Tampa Bay special. And you're a part of that and one of our heroes here, a 3-time gold medalist that grew up here and remains here.
Yes.
I always say that it's like, there was a move made when the Bucs decided not to re-sign John Lynch, and because of his neck injury, and our doctors got it wrong because he went and played in Denver and got 3 more Pro Bowls. When we shipped him away, we lost a lot for this community, because his foundation, him and Linda, their foundation was already cooking and doing amazing things. And when he left, I said, we didn't just lose a football player. We lost the guy that was going to live his life here.
Right.
And become a huge part of the community. He wouldn't have left. Yeah. They were entrenched here.
Well, I think in 2 aspects where we mentioned, like the Derek Brooks and the Mike Allstotts, who have stayed here and their foundations are here and they do so much for the community. There are the handfuls that we did lose because of trades or, losing them. And that's a part that it sucks and all. It does.
It's the business part.
It is.
But
and
it affects the community.
The business part, right?
No.
But at the same time, when you look at some of those players, and I think hockey is a good example, because there's more trades and moves that go along within the hockey.
Yeah, we've had to say goodbye to a lot of favorites.
But then to see some of them come back, you're like, yes.
Pat Maroon just signed up yesterday as the new alumni ambassador.
I saw him do, somebody was posting, I think it was on Instagram, doing some signings and stuff. So it was great to see him back.
Yeah, so beloved.
But then you even look at a LeCavier and a Marty St. Louis, and they retire, they have their lives, but they still have homes here. They still come here to live part of the season or whatever their life is doing after the game. So I think that's one of the things that makes Tampa so unique.
Absolutely.
Is that these professional athletes can essentially live anywhere in the US. They can live anywhere in the world. And when their lives and their careers are done at that aspect and they want to slow down, I think they feel like they can come to Tampa Bay because they can go to Publix, they can go to Whole Foods, they can go to the store, and our community is like a head nod. Hey, how's it going? It doesn't have to be this. Yes, you're amazing, but our community is going to let you be and live your life. Yeah. And I kind of feel like that's the small town that I'm trying to talk about,
absolutely.
Right?
No, I've seen it. I remember watching going by Starbucks on Howard, and A-Rod was sitting out there, by himself on his phone. Nobody's bothering him. Yeah. And you see that I see that all the time with the celebrities. Nobody, it's not a freak show. Right. Like in other markets, it's like they go outside their door and it's paparazzi and it's a freak show.
And here they can just kind of.
Yeah. I know. I always love the vibe of Tampa Bay, and I think it's a special place. And I always say that, especially with this Buccaneers team and Baker Mayfield as the quarterback. Have you got to know Baker at all?
I have not met him yet.
Well, you got to get involved with him and Emily and their foundation. They are doing great work.
We are working, and we love seeing what they're doing. And I think, Evans is another one where you constantly see what he's doing into the community. And
we almost lost him.
We got to hold on to him.
We almost lost him to Houston.
Years. Yeah. So, and I think what the Bucs organization is doing, and like you mentioned, the documentary that's coming out and kind of reliving the great, because I hope that they tell the stories of the years that we weren't so great.
Oh yeah.
Because
it's all part of it.
So many times, and I say this, about my career, and you can look at other Olympians' careers and professional careers. A lot of times, and for me, and I'm not going to speak for those guys, but they might say the same thing. It's not necessarily the Super Bowl championship game. It's not the race in the Olympics of winning the Olympic gold medal that is the most memorable for me in my career. It's sometimes the stories behind the scenes, or the races or the games that don't go as well.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that you relive, and you kind of sit back many years later and you're like, wow, I think if that wouldn't have happened, this wouldn't have happened.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's all part of the journey. And it's interesting too, because Trent Cooper, who is the producer, he grew up in Lakeland. And I know his brother Todd, known them for a long time. And he went to his first Bucs game at 7 years old, and has seen every Bucs game. And he's an 8-time Emmy Award winning producer. He's done big stuff for the NFL. And they kind of happened into Trent, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I would love to do this 50th. Like, I was born to do this. This is my life's work."
Yes.
And he has spent 14 months and done 190 hours worth of interviews to make this project. Was going to, be a 2 or 3 hour thing, and is now turned into 10 hours plus episodic. And it's gotten so big, they don't even know how they're going to release it or when they're going to release it. And I think part of the issue is they want to include the 50th season because it looks like it's going to be a really great season.
Yeah.
So if you're going to do a documentary and you happen to win the Super Bowl in your 50th year,
and it's not in there,
and it's like, maybe we hold off for a couple months. We've waited this long, and this can be kind of the coup de grace to it. Kind of like with the Kingdom, with the Chiefs, they went to the Super Bowl, they didn't win it, but it's all part to your point.
It's part of the
It's not
story.
always just winning it. That's part of it makes the story. It's maybe not winning it that makes the story and the journey of it. So either way, it's going to be fantastic. It's absolutely Tampa Bay to the core, and you're going to love it. And everybody's going to love it.
Images of the old sombrero.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh man.
I got here in 97. So I got, as a Tampa reporter, I covered the Bucs from Tallahassee and afar, but my first covering of the Bucs as a beat reporter was in this old sombrero the last year, 97, which was the first playoff year of the run. And I remember, beating the Lions and being down on the field, and that exuberation. It was just, it was insane.
Yes.
It was insane. Houlihan Stadium, as it was called at that time.
Right.
Remember at the end?
Yeah.
Houlihan Stadium.
Yep.
Because the Glazers owned Houlihan's, and they didn't have anybody that wanted to buy the naming rights, so they just put their own company on it. Brilliant.
Everybody still called it the sombrero.
Right,
so
exactly. Nobody called it. Nobody even remembers Houlihan Stadium, right? But it was just a really interesting time to be covering the Bucs and watching Tampa Bay on the rise, and where we've come from those moments of the yucks to this incredible, we're the 11th
more
largest
yucks than glory.
Yeah, we're the 11th largest market. We've got Tampa Bay. Hopefully the Rays building a new stadium in Tampa. That's coming, and it's incredible. But I hope to your point, we got to keep that Tampa Bay feel.
Back to the Brady thing. It was funny when the news broke and we knew Brady was coming to Tampa, and I just not a Boston fan. I'm a Florida girl. I'm not going to root, and just never. There wasn't a reason for me to like him as a player, because every time he played against us or played against any teams, I was like, I want everybody to beat New England. That's just the way that I was. And so I just thought, oh man, really? He's coming to Tampa. Is this really going to be a good fit? And then to your point, and kind of what you said that you witnessed yesterday, as he came here and he started playing, and you saw him going out into the community, and comments that he made, I'm finally having fun with the game. And the separation, I think, from him and Belichick was like finally, like you broke
Tampa
off.
Tom.
And the moment for me where I was like, this is the personality. This is a real person. This doesn't feel robotic. When he was just ridiculed for getting off the boat after the celebration, and he had one too many shots of tequila, and I'm like, good for him.
Finally.
He was stumbling around, whatever, and we're going to criticize the greatest quarterback of all time because he's
I criticize it for not doing that enough.
I mean, he did it with class. I have to say, if I was getting off a boat with too many shots of tequila, I wouldn't have looked that good coming off the boat. You probably would have got a picture of me puking. But I'm like,
that was later on.
Felt like he could be in Tampa and let loose and just kind of enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there are he probably in those moments and being in Tampa and playing in years down the road when he really has time to sit back and reflect, because it takes time. When you play that long in your life, you don't reflect on your career. He's going through the motions. Like you said, he just has to react differently in public.
Right.
But in private and years down the road, when he gets to reflect on his career, I'd be willing to put money on the table that he will say these were his best years.
Oh, no,
without a doubt, hands
You
down.
know, I think you're right, because he was able to be himself.
Yes.
And it was a totally different, it was Tampa Tom. It was a totally different dude. I remember when they did the Tommy and Gronky things, which was like, I never thought I'd see Tom Brady in that realm.
Right.
And it was funny. It was really, really good. It was hilarious stuff. And it was, for those three, and then, the last year was a train wreck with his wife. And that was an absolute train wreck.
He had to go through and be the New England Tom. He needed to be under Belichick. And he needed those years and whatever, I think it's hilarious, and just seeing just all the reports and everything of where Belichick is now and what he's doing. And, it's like a comedian skit or something.
It is. It's
so comical. It doesn't even seem like football.
It's embarrassing. And you're just watching it play out and you're just cringe.
That's where, and to me, there's a part in careers. And I was happy to see that Tom was able to come and have kind of this closure, and he did it down here, and he was able to be a different player. And versus you look at somebody like a Belichick, should he have been done? Why is he still? Is there time for retirement? Is there time for you to go off and date and be silly? But do you really need to be doing this? And is this going to overshadow things from his earlier part in the career where he was with Tom through all of that success in New England? I think this is the point where you realize you've hung on to it for too long.
Yeah, I think you're right. Well, we were going to talk about Olympics and stuff, but I'm glad we got off. It's a much better conversation. Much better conversation. Everybody gets that, and I think they appreciate the Tampa Bay conversation about all that. So I wanted to talk to you about this enhanced games.
Yeah.
So the enhanced games, you may know more about it than I did. Basically, they want to test the limits of human competition and what are humans able to do. And, can somebody run a sub 9 second 100 meters or some crazy deal?
Mm-hmm.
How is the world, the sports world, the Olympic world are reacting to this?
I think this is maybe the best way to put it is this is like the WWE of like Olympic sports.
That's a great way to put it.
Right?
Yeah.
Because
people love the WWE, by the way.
They do. They love it. And it's a show and it's entertainment. Okay. So now you have this group of a few men, and they've put money into the enhanced games, and they're going to have an event. The end of May in 2026 out in Vegas. Right. People love sporting events to go to. They're going to make it a big spectacle and a big, entertainment. It's entertainment. It's entertainment outside of everything else. Nowhere there. I think there's 2 points where I'm like, I'm too old for this anyway. So it's not like they've come to me and asked me, hey, Brooke, do you want to get back in the pool and race? Because there's I think there's an age limit. Like you couldn't give me any amount of drugs to say, go swim faster than you did when you were 20 or go swim faster than Katie Ledecky does now. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen unless some guy out there wants to put on a wig and look like Brooke Bennett in a
there we
swimsuit,
go.
Right. But
that would never happen.
So, and I sent you the leak the other day that their enhanced games is now suing World Aquatics for the big controversy, I think for like $800 million, saying that they're, legal action and stuff like that. And
threatening their athletes if they got involved in this. So
basically what they've said is in World Aquatics has come out and said that if you participate in the enhanced games, it's not like you can go participate in the enhanced games and then come back and be eligible. Agree with that. You can't stop doping, and then come back and compete again. But the Enhanced Games has not approached and is not encroaching on the current elite athletes, right? They're going to the athletes that have literally done what they could do at the Olympic Games, represented their countries. But you go back to some of the athletes. There's an Olympian that represented Greece for 3 Olympic Games. His wife makes a beautiful post saying, look, he's going to try this. He's going to attempt to swim faster than the current world record. And if he does this in the 50-meter freestyle, they're going to provide him with $1 million. That is more than his country has ever done.
Right.
The big news, and we've talked about this, Megan Romano, who is from our area. She has now signed on with them. A great collegiate athlete from UGA, was just short of making the 2012 Olympic team, but swam a great international career in short course world championships. And she was signed on to be not only the first American, but the first female for the Enhanced Games. Look, go out there and do it. The only thing that I say is they're going to have a medical staff. You have to basically put out, if somebody came to me and said, hey, Brooke, we want you to do this. And I'm going to go, I want you to lay it out on a piece of paper. And I want to know all the pros and cons and what are the side effects that are going to hit me in 10 and 15 years down the road. Yeah. Because if you start putting this stuff in your body, what does it do? It enhances any cancerous and bad cells in your body. So are your chances of possibly, like, let's just say breast cancer runs in my family. Okay. My aunt passed away from it. I go on and do this. Does this raise my risk of getting breast cancer 10 or 15 years down the road? Those are the types of questions that I would ask as an athlete. Do I look at these athletes and say, oh my God, you're cheating? They're competing essentially against themselves to see if they can go faster than what the current world record is.
And everybody's on the same page.
And everybody, and they're and so I would like them to be completely transparent. I would like to see what their cycles and what they're doing.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean,
why not make it public?
Give us the scientific side of things, and let's see if it's possible.
We used to joke.
You're giving athletes money.
Yeah.
And we talked about this, the fact that the Olympic committees and the sports organizations on the Olympic side and the Paralympic side are not supporting these athletes.
Right.
Kate Douglas just posted there was a swam who does all the that does all the coverage of all the Olympic Games and all of the Olympics. Mel Stewart runs and is the CEO of them and just covers swimming top to bottom, anything you want to know. He did a great interview with Kate Douglas that I caught the other day and talked about financials. It talked about, did she think that she would be swimming through LA 28? And her simple answer was, they don't talk about it on the national team. It's not something that they sit around and conversate and they're sharing their financial data with each other. But there are, and what she said, there are only a few athletes within the USA national team that can support themselves in order to do this.
Right. Kate
Douglas being in that few.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons why she's able to train and commit another 4 years, one, she's still enjoying it. The glory, and you're hanging on to some of these swimmers because to be able to compete in your home country, I got an opportunity. It's a big deal. So more athletes, a Katie Ledecky is one. Would she have retired after Paris if it wasn't LA 28?
Probably.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But she's going another 4 years because she can end her career in LA.
And she can make money
decision.
outside of U.S. national team, and she doesn't have to get a job like most other ones.
But how many athletes aren't going to be able to hang on, which goes on to the conversation that we were in the last time we talked a little bit about what Michael Phelps was saying, that, basically the funeral of USA swimming because we're not swimming the way we have in the past comparable to the rest of the world. We're not supporting our athletes financially.
Yeah.
So the Enhanced Game comes up to these athletes that are just outside of their retirement window, still very young, still very fit, financially probably can't afford it. Other athletes come up.
It's a way for them to keep training, making money.
Train and make the most out of it.
Yeah.
But first and foremost, the most important thing is that when they're going through this, it's got to be their health.
Yeah.
That's it. Bottom line, everything else. And if it's, hey, you know what? I hope they invite me and I get to go. Maybe I can do the commentary for it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would like to see it. It's something new. They're throwing money at athletes and they're giving them the opportunity. Hey, you win $1 million, you investment. That's
especially in the Olympic
change
sports,
of your lifestyle.
which have not been financially supported.
Right.
And, and if this is a way for them to make money, quote, like going pro,
And
So
nobody's
be it.
saying we're gonna encroach, and people are like, oh, this is the downfall of youth sports, and our generation is gonna think we can cheat. I mean, we just talked about what our generation goes after.
Right.
I mean, our generation
Just getting them to
does
compete
not
will be just fine.
understand reading an encyclopedia that was published 15 years ago to write a paper.
Yeah.
They don't know.
Just ask AI to write it for them.
We discussed that, by the way, which I'm
brutal.
using a little bit of Chat GPT now, and I'm like, why was I still living in the dark ages?
I know. I still feel like I'm cheating on a test. Like
I do too.
I'm writing a spot, but I'll have them write the spot, but then I'll have to go back and change a bunch of stuff anyway. So it's a tool.
It helps. It's an
Don't
editing
depend
tool.
on it. But
I write what I need to write, and then I use it as an editing, and
Yeah.
it kind of just it makes my words more colorful.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm
Makes
like,
us
well,
sound
it's a computer writing it. Of course, you're better than I am. I could have written that if I really wanted to.
just would have taken me 6 hours. That's all.
Yes.
Well, Brooke, thanks for stopping by. I know you're gonna do Bloom today,
I'm
right?
doing
Channel
Bloom
8.
today. Yeah. So coming in with me is my dear friend Tracy Otto, who is the Paralympian from the area that competed in Paris, and was attacked by her ex-boyfriend, who now has her in a wheelchair. So she tells her story, and I pitched it to Gail and her crew at Bloom TV, and I want to give Tracy a platform to get her message out there, because there's not a lot of support for her. She's a new mom. Her fiance has been at her side since the day of the attack. He was attacked as well during that. And so, I met Tracy after Paris, and I just feel she's kind of like my Olympic sister. And if I can use some of my platforms and my network to help her and get her message out, not
Does
just
she have a
on me.
GoFundMe or a website?
She does not. We're kind of working on that. You know what we need to do is we need to probably one day get her in here,
absolutely.
and let her
Love to
come
have
in
her
and
here.
tell her story. And
Yes.
she's working on her public speaking, working on getting her an agent, because she wants to tell her story, not just on the Olympic and Paralympic side, but more to women that
Domestic
have been
violence.
attacked.
It's a horrible problem.
It is, or giving signs to get out earlier, and can you get out sooner to avoid the attack?
Yeah, we'll definitely do
So,
that for sure.
yeah.
Well, thank you for stopping in.
Thanks.
Thank you guys for stopping in as well on this. Today he will be on tomorrow, and we'll have Josh Capo as well. So thank you, Timmy. Good job to you. Thank you all for watching and listening. We will see you tomorrow.
Hey, for me to keep casual.
But financially, he's set up so that we're able